Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Sin City TV. Come watch TV with me. The way in which I wish we would have gotten these Amy flashbacks in the beginning of season 2, because it completely and utterly changed my perspective of her and Joan's relationship. Like, totally changed everything that I thought I knew. Welcome back to another episode of Sin City TV. Get on here and come watch TV with me. Doc season 2 episode 20, titled The Big Chair, might be my second favorite episode of this season. I really enjoyed tonight's episode so much more than I thought I would. As this season is starting to wrap up, there are things that I'm just not agreeing with in this show, so it's caused me to kind of like, Doc really getting on my nerves. But tonight's episode was so good, and I got some of the things I have been wanting from the show for so long, like the whole season. Tonight's episode delivered, and I just find that really ironic because when I'm at my wit's end, they give what I've been asking for. So let's just start at the top. Let's get into the things, okay? The episode starts out with Joan having a little bit of a flare-up while she's getting ready to babysit her grandson. Her son's wife is getting ready to go off to work or whatever, and she starts coughing. And it's not a normal cough. She falls over. She's losing her breath. It's looking bad. So she gets sent to the ER, okay? Now, if you know me and you watch my content, you know that I'm not a fan of Joan's at all. Initially, when she was introduced in the show, the vibe that I got from her, and I've said this in previous videos, the vibe that I got from her was like one of those fake friends of Amy's who like smile in your face and sing your praises to your face and act like they want the best for you, but they secretly want you to be down bad. Like they secretly want bad things to happen to you just so they can revel in your pain. Like that's the vibe I got, the way she was acting with her and Michael, with her getting the position as chief. I just didn't trust her. With this episode, it put things in a different light for me as far as Joan. And it also goes to show you how beautiful of a job Felicity did with this character. Because although I did not like her, seeing her in this predicament, in the hospital, sick, might not make it, it really hurt me. Like I felt really bad. And that's crazy to feel bad for a character that you don't even connect with and you don't even like. It really shifted things for me with Joan, and that is one of the reasons why I love storytelling so much, because I have no problem being wrong about a character. To me, that's the beauty in it. To see a character I thought was one way, and then when I get all of the information and all the knowledge, it's something completely different and changes my whole perspective. I love that. I love getting that recognition for the character and realization for myself as a fan and a viewer. I loved it. I loved it so much. And Felicity did a phenomenal job in this episode, okay? The seizure that she had. Whew. Now, in my review for last week's episode, one thing I said that I wanted was, one, to see more Gina. I wanted more of Gina's life outside the hospital. I wanted more of her wife. I wanted more of Walter, the little boy from the case last week that Gina was dealing with. I got those things, all of those things in tonight's episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. I love her wife. They have a great connection, the two of them. I enjoyed the fact that Wendy knows exactly who she married. Gina missing their anniversary dinner, being late, not showing up, her having to go to the hospital, find her, go sit in her office, and she didn't show up to that, and not getting upset and not blaming her is a woman who knows exactly what she got herself into. And those are the ingredients for a perfect, not perfect, but a beautiful relationship. And I need more. I really loved it. I loved seeing Gina with her. She's Gina's calm. And you could tell that. You could tell Wendy is Gina's calm. She completely calms her energy. And I absolutely love that. Okay. Now, again, I said I wanted to kind of delve more into the possibility of Gina maybe wanting to adopt Walter. I got that. Because like Gina said in the episode, let me get Gina's exact words were, I care about him, but I know where the boundaries are. when it came to Amy questioning her about whether or not she was going to step into some complicated territory and try to adopt Walter. She said that, but at the end of the episode, you see in her laptop, she was looking up like ways to adopt him. And I think that that's an incredible storyline for Gina, to expand her character, expand her universe, expand her storyline. And I am here for it. Please give it to me. Please. I beg of you. Now, we saw in the flashbacks that Amy's mom was sick. That Amy's mom was just as headstrong as Amy, did whatever she wanted to do, didn't care what nobody had to say. And in the end, it caused her to lose her life. And Amy felt away about it. Like, I've been telling her to take care of herself, and she didn't. And look what happened. And Amy didn't grieve that. She didn't grieve it at all. She threw herself into other things. She threw herself at Michael. She threw herself into work. And I feel like her relationship with Joan was very significant now with having that knowledge, because Joan was there for her in a time when she needed it, in a space where maybe she wished her mother would have been. Like, maybe she wished her mother would have pushed her in a way that Joan pushes her. She wished her mother kind of filled that void that Joan is now feeling. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry, I'm bad at explaining myself, and I also just ate popcorn. That's what that was. But yeah, I think that it has so many complexities with her relationship with Joan now, knowing her backstory. And it's so much more interesting. It's so much more interesting. And I hate that we're just now getting this in this episode. And I understand that usually for penultimate episodes, you get like big revelations and things like that. And those are always usually better than the finales, honestly, truly. But I just hate that it took this long. Like, I have such a better understanding of Joan as a character now. Like, such a better understanding. At first, in last week's episode, when Joan had told Liz like to stand up for herself when it comes to Dr. Miller, I didn't know how I felt about that storyline. I didn't know where they were going with it. I didn't know why Joan was telling her that. Like, I didn't think much of it. But now, in seeing tonight's episode, it resonated so deeply with me because I also work in healthcare. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I work in the healthcare field. And Sonia's quote that she said rang so true, and it made so much sense, and it's so realistic. And then I understood exactly where they were going with it. Sonia said to Michael in reference to Liz, Michael, you don't understand the dynamics of a man in a position of power against a woman at the start of her career. An older man in a position of power against a young woman in the start of her career. Sonia, you better say that shit. And I was so proud of Sonia for doing the chiefly thing in her new role and sticking up for Liz and going to talk to Michael and being like, no, you need to do something about this because it's true. Like, it's so true. And that's what Joan was trying to get Liz to see. Don't let these men in these positions of power berate you or make you feel like they could just do anything to you and get away with it. And that's exactly what Richard did. Richard did some of the snakiest shit, and it's the reason why he could never get redeemed for me. Okay? Richard can never be seen as a good guy in my book because of all the foul shit he pulled in season 1. Okay? And he got away with it because he got his job back. He's back looking in these people's faces, having to work with them. They having to shove down their feelings. Amy, Liz, Sonia, everybody having to shove down their feelings about this man who did them wrong. I was getting ready to say a word that we say in my culture. This man, okay, full of his power. And no, we're not standing for it. And I'm so glad that Sonia took the right step in standing up for Liz because period. Now, let's get into the Michael, Amy, Jake of it all. Because I know that's why a lot of y'all watch this show. Not me, but I know that's why a lot of y'all watch this show. And there was a lot of good Michael, Jake, Amy juiciness and nuggets in this episode. I will admit I was here for a lot of it. So first things first, I just want to say real quick, the final shot of the episode of Michael walking away and Amy and Jake going in the opposite direction was absolute beautiful cinematography. I love that moment because it's such a good representation of their dynamic. And it's a good representation of what I want to see. I may not be personally and emotionally connected to Jake and Amy as a couple. I just don't feel it. It's just not there for me. I don't know why. I wish it was, but it's not. I want them together. I don't want Michael and Amy to rekindle anything. As a Michael fan, I don't want that for him. I want him to work on himself. He needs that, baby. And him being with Amy is not going to do him any good. So that scene right there, mwah, it was beautiful. I loved it. It was such a good scene. And it spoke volumes. If you watch TV like I do and you look for stuff like that, I loved it. Now, young Gina said something to young Amy in this episode that really stood out to me. She said, when it comes to feelings, the piper always has to get paid. Which in plain language means eventually you're going to have to reap the consequences of your actions. And for Amy, I think that spoke volumes because you see in that conversation when she's talking to Gina, she's not processing her mother's death. She's not grieving, but she worried about the bartender, Michael. So you started this relationship with Michael off of lust and avoiding your feelings, being avoidant of your feelings. That's how you started this marriage or this relationship. Now, granted, there could have been 1,000 things that happened in the middle of all that. But for this to be how the relationship started, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. And what Gina said rings true. Because the tumultuous downfall of your marriage, because was he the man for you? Was he? Now that it's all said and done, is this where you were supposed to end up? I know she don't regret her children. No mother does. Of course not. Everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, it truly does say a lot about that relationship and the basis on which it began. And it just makes me think. It really makes me think. Great job, doc writers. I never should have doubted you. No matter what, at the end of the day, even if Jake and Amy go the distance and they stay together, which I would like, I think they're a cute couple, even though I don't feel emotionally connected to them, I still think they're cute. If they do go the distance, they still gonna always have to deal with Rachel and Michael. Those two are not going anywhere. So the four of them do need to learn how to live with each other, how to communicate with each other. They're going to be in each other's lives. It's going to happen. So I feel like maybe now things will take a shift and go the mature direction that I thought that they were going in with displaying that relationship with their significant others, with their ex-significant others, and dealing with their relationship now. We're going to have to deal with these two always. Let's find a healthy way to do it. Let's always communicate with each other when having to deal with our exes. Let's always keep each other in the loop. Let's talk about things. Keep communication open. That is the key. And I feel like now with this experience, Jake and Amy will do that. I feel like they've learned each other now. Jake has learned that Amy needs to know what's going on. That's how she's going to feel comfortable. So even though in this situation, I don't feel like Jake was wrong, I feel like in order to meet his significant other halfway, he should have been like, look, there's something going on with Rachel where she needs me to be there for her right now. So I'm going to be there for her. I can't disclose why. It's her personal business, but I will tell you when the time is right. Maybe that's the route that Jake should have gone to make his partner comfortable, because sometimes that's what it's about. It's about making your significant other comfortable, but protecting the privacy of your child's parent, So I think that they've learned that now, and that they'll communicate better in the future. And I feel like tonight's episode was shining a light and opening up our eyes to past history with a partner and starting over with new love and a new relationship. Because Rachel was in this episode with her daughter. That little scene didn't necessarily have to happen. We didn't need to see it. But I felt like it was to represent they have history. They have a child together. She's going to always be around. Michael and Amy have history. They have children together. They also have shared trauma with losing a child. They're always going to be in each other's lives. Past loves merging together to start anew. The scene of Michael administering CPR to Walter going back and forth with the flashbacks of him administering CPR to Danny in the museum that day, flashing to Amy's face, watching Michael give the CPR, tore me open like a fresh bag of chips. Like, I was so emotional watching that scene. It was beautifully done. It made you feel all of the feelings. Like, bruh, I was really hello? My light died. Oh well. We're gonna keep going. It tore me open. It literally was so beautiful. And I wow. I'm speechless. It was a beautiful scene. All in all, this penultimate episode was, like I said, my second favorite episode of this season. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next week's episode is our 2-part season finale, our 2-hour season finale. So y'all know my review gonna be hot. It's gonna come in hot and red. Okay, I'm excited. I can't wait to wrap things up. As y'all know, these 22 episodes be a lot for me. But Blair Underwood is getting introduced in next week's episode as Dr. Grant. I'm excited to see his character, what he's gonna bring to the table. And yeah, one more episode, y'all. One more episode before the season is a wrap. I have thoroughly enjoyed making these videos for y'all this season. I truly, truly, truly appreciate y'all for watching. Like, sometimes when I miss a week, or I miss a video, or I'm late, and then you guys will come in your comment and say, I've been waiting for you, I've been looking for you, or I love your videos. It touches my heart. It really does, because that's why I make them. That's why I make them. I want to talk to the fans of a show I love. I want to debate. I want to talk character analysis. I want to do all the things. To y'all who be in my DMs on Twitter, to y'all who be in my comments on YouTube, be in my comments on Instagram, be in my comments on TikTok, thank you. Thank you for engaging with me and talking about this show with me that we all love so much. Y'all are my favorite fandom right now because, like, y'all just really get into the nitty gritty with me. And I really enjoy it, even when we disagree. I've been in fandoms for a very long time. And disagreeing about characters and about plots and TV shows don't never go good, okay? It's always some drama. Y'all always want to tussle, okay? But the Doc fandom is always respectful. Always. Even when it's not, we move on. But for the most part, it's always respectful discourse. And I appreciate y'all so much for being able to have a mature adult conversations about these characters. So thank you. Tap into the comments. Let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. And meet me back here next week for the finale. Whew, it's up and it's stuck. Up and it's stuck.